How's everybody doing out there? This is the Black Effect, the real Black Effect, and I want to speak on the recent stabbing of a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee on a Charlotte light train. Her name was Irina Zarutska, and she was stabbed by a man on a Charlotte light train. This happened shortly before 10 p.m. on August 22nd. And this was again a white Ukrainian woman who was stabbed by a black man on the Charlotte light train. Now, the suspect's name is Carlos Brown. He was 34, and again, Irina Zaruska was 23 years old. She was just getting on the train from work. Looked like she was coming from a pizza place, wherever, a restaurant, wherever she worked at, like a fast food or a pizza. I think it was a pizza place. She had a uniform on, just a person, working. I've been on a train coming from work, before, and I've seen all types of things happen on the train. That's why, a lot of people want to work and they try to get them their own vehicle. They try to hurry up and get them their own transportation. In some cities and things like that, it's not even conducive. Like, I'm in Texas and Dallas, and if you live in places like some places around Dallas, the train doesn't even run, bus doesn't even run. Dallas is really spread out, so it's not even conducive. It's definitely best for you to get your own transportation. But she was just coming from work, and this man who looked like he was having a mental episode. He looked like Carlos Brown looked like he was already disturbed before she even got on the train. They have video footage. They zoomed in and looked at his face. He looked already in distress. Anyone, to himself, anyone could have sat in front of that man, who wasn't formidable, who he didn't deem to be formidable enough to fight off that attack, and he would have attacked him. It could have been a small black woman. It could have been a kid, which hopefully a kid wouldn't be riding a train at that time. It could have been anyone who was vulnerable and sat in front of that man, and he would have did what he did. I definitely don't think that it was a race-based thing. It was an evil act. This is an act by a career criminal, a person who has a history of arrest, a person who needed to be in an institution and not just prison. Sometimes, like, this person needed, the system failed in what they were supposed to do with this person. Now, look, if you say they should have, if we were a person did a violent crime or something like that, and we had laws where you just killed them, or we had laws where it was eye for eye. Like, you did this to you went to jail for a stabbing, somebody gonna stab you. Or you took somebody's you shot somebody, then you get shot. Like, this is if that's the society that we have, then that would have been the case. But this is a civilized society. We have laws, we have things in place. Now, there's definitely things that needs to be tweaked. Like, again, mental health. Like, we don't look at things from God's perspective. Like, mental health and all that stuff is demonization, is a spiritual illness. You understand? Madness comes from God. You understand? It's a curse when these things happen. So if somebody would attack the spiritual issue, this person needs deliverance and a lot of mental and a lot of therapy and things to heal their mind. That's what's in the flesh. What's done in the spirit manifests in the flesh. But we don't try to look at those things from that perspective, yet we call ourselves Christians and all that, and it's a Christian country. Well, if that's the case, then we need to look at look at things the right way. Look at the man who was in the Bible, who was, they said that they couldn't, the demonized man who was possessed with the demon called Legion, said we were many. He was cutting himself in sitting by himself, howling at the moon, cutting himself. He was breaking all the chains that the people tried to subdue him with, like, exuding levels of um, a manic state of mind. Jesus came and he released those demons into the pigs. Then a man came and was acting normal, sitting down at Jesus' feet. He wanted to follow Christ. And people was amazed. They were so scared that they made Jesus leave, because they didn't get that. That's how people are today. You understand? The Carlos Brown was a very disturbed man. This man had a history of arrest. You understand? Suffered from many, what people call, and I'm using our quotes, mental health problems. This is why this attack happened. Like, he should have been getting some actual help. But see, a lot of and I think he was homeless. A lot of homeless people on the street, they have what you would call mental health problems, but people just leave them to their own devices. Till they just totally crash out, and then they become criminals. At first, they weren't criminals; they were disturbed. Now now they done done something. Now they belong in Arkham Asylum. They could have just been helped as normal people. Maybe outpatient therapy. You give them some. You watch them. They needed somewhere to be. Like, homelessness is just running so rampant in this country. People don't have families. They don't have no one to help them. A lot of these churches just take money. That's how churches do. A lot of these churches, not all of them, but most of these churches, all they do is take money, and they don't want to help nobody. They don't help their community. It shouldn't be all these homeless people in your community. Come up with some money, buy some land, get some of these tiny houses for these people to be in, and make rules to where they can stay in them. And see, some people are homeless because they don't want to follow the rules. They want to take drugs. Some people don't. They have Salvation Army in places that'll take you in, but you can't be on drugs. You can't be an alcoholic. These are demons, that you're fighting with. If you on homeless, you on drugs, you out there on mad drugs and alcohol. Anyone, if you was homeless or not, anyone dealing with that, you're fighting demons, and you need deliverance. First of all, that's what you need. First of all, because to do something like what this man did, it's just horrible. It's a heinous act, and no one can stand up for this. And it's not just about race. This isn't a race thing. Like I said, black, white, Hispanics, they're homeless. And I've seen all races they crash out. I watch these crime shows. I pay attention to stuff like this. I've seen people personally, women as well, homeless, just crashing out. Just crashing out on people, losing their mind. Like, it's just too much to bear. They can't bear, their situation and things that's going on in their life. They need, because they can't get any help. You understand? Like, and it's not feeling sorry. It's definitely not excusing what this guy did. It's saying, as the country, you looking baffled to be like, why these things happen? There is always a why. It's not people or people. They're not just entities. They're people. So, to just do this and just crash out like this, and to take somebody's life with no conscience and just randomly, there's definitely something there, that we're missing. It's not just that, he's an animal, he's this, he's an uncaged animal. Sure, that's an animalistic act that he did. That's an evil act that he did. But it's more to it than that. Like, we can't just be, soft-brained and so lacking of intricate thought. Like, we know better. We're human, we're intelligent beings. Like, things are more intricate than this. then a person just,